Okay. I love this pin drop silence before the storm.
Not sure what to do next, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Storm is coming. And here I am, whispering in devil's ear, you better watch out, I'm coming. Okay. Shall we go or let people will start coming in as and when, right? Okay. Now, good afternoon, hello, and welcome to this symposium of 2021. And let me welcome you with this. Okay. Let me start with this. Hang on a minute, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Taking your breath, stealing your mind, and all that was real is left behind. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. Your fever dream, can't you see you getting closer to surrender? Cause you feel the feeling taking over. It's fire, it's freedom, it's flooding open. It's a picture in the pulpit and your blind devotion. There's something breaking at the brick of every wall, it's holding all that you know. So tell me, do you wanna go where it's covered in all the color lights, where the runaways are running the night? Impossible comes true, it's taking over you. This is the greatest show. We light it up, we won't come down, and the sun can't stop us now. Watching it come true, it's taking over you. Colossal, we come, these renegades in the ring, where the lost get found, every crown of the circus kings. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. It's blinding out, shining anything that you know. Just surrender cause you're coming and you wanna go where it's covered in all the color lights, where the runaways are running the night. Impossible comes true, intoxicating you. This is the greatest show. We light it up, we won't come down, and the sun can't stop us now. Watching it come true, it's taking over you. This is the greatest show. It's everything you ever want. It's everything you ever need. And it's here right in front of you. This is where you wanna be. It's everything you ever want. It's everything you ever need. And it's here right in front of you. This is where you wanna be. This is where you wanna be. Where it's covered in all the color lights, where the runaways are running the night. Impossible comes true. This is for you.
What will you be doing?
Watching my girls grow up.
Thank you very much. Hello and welcome. This is a phenomenal symposium. And I'm sure you are all agree that this is the show you want to be every single day until October, right? Good afternoon. My name is Raza Khan. I am representing Pakistan today, and my co-host Venkat will help me to run this show very smoothly. Venkat, over to you, my friend. Okay. Today's session, I know this week or this last week, we had Britta, we had Daphne, and myself, because this week we are talking about the leadership. Now, in our leadership, and I'm sure Daphne was talking about the extrinsic leadership. Britta was talking about the extrinsic leadership. What does extrinsic leadership means? That everything which you do outside, not the inside, right? Outside is guidance, finding a solution, finding a vision, working on the team, finding a direction, finding a strategy to make it successful, finding communication, the way to communicate with the other people, and then hitting that eyeball, hitting that goal. That's what the extrinsic leadership is all about, which is outer to you. Well, my friend, I am not going to talk about that because Britta and Daphne has done a great job, and I'm sure Samuel will be coming tomorrow. He will talk about that as well, because these are great coaches. But for me, I'm going to talk about it is the leadership, but it is all about inner leadership. Next slide, Venkat, please. Okay, so basically, when I'm talking about the inner leadership is all about inside you. Your self-awareness, your self-confidence, your self-efficiency, and how you can build yourself to have that influence and impact. That's what I'm talking about. That is called inner leadership, because the first person you want to lead is yourself, nobody else. Now, in the chat box, I would love to know how many people here has led the team. How many people is a new team leaders? How many people are here are managers, directors, or even business owners? And what struggles are you facing when you're leading a team, or you even yourself, right? When was the last time you actually led yourself? Love to know something in the chat box. I'm going to get quiet for a few minutes, and then I'll let you guys talk about that. Venkat, do we have any answers?
We have Daphne, Farid, who's a team leader.
Yep.
Monica Sodi, she has led global teams. And Philip, our coach on team motivation. Sandeepa, leading the team. Yes, these are the answers we have now.
They're fantastic. So the question is that what struggles did you had when you're leading the team? What was the issues you're facing? I mean, did you come across that your team is not listening to you because suddenly you got promoted, you were one of your colleagues, and suddenly you got promoted? And now they're seeing you as exactly the same, but they may be seeing that, oh, this person may be favorite to the bosses, and you suddenly promoted to become a team leader. Now, why do we have to listen to you? These are the challenges we all face. I have done that. But in the inner leadership is all about developing yourself so you'll be able to influence and impact other people, right? Inner leadership is all about going on self-discovery journey and become a leader to yourself before leading people outside world. We have to master the art of controlling our emotional reactions, overcoming limiting beliefs, and overcoming naysayers, right? We have to master the art of inner conversation goes on in our heart and mind, because if we don't control it, what happens is that's I call it shadow warriors. Is keep coming out and telling you you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you cannot do that. You will not achieve, or you will struggle being a team leader. You will struggle as a business owner. You will struggle as a manager. That is the conversation is constantly going on, but we need to overcome that conversation. If you don't have a level of self-awareness, of self-control, and if you don't have the level of self-belief, then how on earth you can go out and lead other people? Because they are looking for leader, but the leader who can be friendly, approachable, smart, and thinking out of the box, and be a lively person. How many of us actually love to to be more closer to that sort of leaders because they know what they're doing, and people love to talk to them because they always have an ideas and suggestions. But at the same time, they're open enough to get the suggestions from the team because they don't have that attitude of my way or highway because they have built that relationship. But they build the relationship not with the team, but they have built the relationship with them first. Because the problem is that as we grow up, we have past experiences that based on the past experiences, we predict our present and our future. And that does not allow us to move forward. But this is what I'm talking about, being a leader. And this is the journey which I'm going to talk about, and this is what we're going to do in this session. And I'll do my best to stop by 4 o'clock if I can. But Arfat, I apologize if I slightly go over. But okay, Venkat, let's jump on to the next slide. Okay, I'm going to talk about my introduction is where I'm coming from and why I think I am maybe qualified, a little bit, not too much, maybe qualified enough to help you in that journey. And then we go deep dive into the inner leadership. What is it? Why do we need it? What's going on with that? And what's happening in our society at the moment? Then we talk about the outer versus inner leadership. What is outer leadership? Or what is inner leadership? And then why leadership to self is important. And then I will unlock the key using the 6 C's to the inner leadership. I'll talk about all 6 C's, but the problem is that we may not have enough time to cover all 6 C's because that 6 C's to inner leadership is a course in its own right. But what I will do is I'll pick one first C, which is called clarity of a vision. We'll use that. We'll clarify what it is. And then, by the way, guys, I am not going to be sitting here and talking all the time, but I will get you guys involved to do some exercises as well. So there will be a breakout rooms. There will be I would love to get somebody from the participant to work with me on, we will do a 5 minutes coaching on your goals and things like that. And then I will cover the next session, which is the rest of the 5 C's to inner leadership. And then we will have a Q&A session. And then I have got some offers for you. So this is pretty much what the agenda is for the day. Are you okay with that? Thumbs up? Cool. Okay. So my name is Raza Khan. I am actually a business and a personal growth mentor. I'm actually a technology consultant, and I've been in the technology for over 24 years. Technology is the place where majority of the people kind of struggle with the leadership because at times I've come across is that when people doing a great job as a technical consultant, they get promoted. When they get promoted as a team leader, they struggle because the leadership is all because we don't born with the leadership skills. We have to develop that leadership skills. What happens is that because they've been promoted into the leadership space, the team is not listening. Their productivity is going down, and they're not good enough in their own field, which they are supposed to be excellent. So now they're struggling. So I have seen that in the last 24 years in various businesses, in a public sector, in a private sector, in a hospitals, in councils, in the drinks companies. So these are the areas which people tends to struggle because they've been promoted, but nobody's cared for them to be providing a leadership skills. But the leadership skills here, we're talking about the inner leadership. Now, last 10 to 15 years, I have been on the personal development journey. And that's where I learned to overcome my emotional reactions, overcome my limiting beliefs. I'm still on that journey. The journey is not finished yet. So I'm still on that journey. And then last 10 years, I spent considerable amount of applying those strategies in my management style and see how effective it is for the people who are working with me. And for me, is right, I'm working with them and they're working with me rather than they're reporting. Yes, they're reporting into me, but I'm part of the team. I'm working as one of them. Because remember, in the Forest Square building, you may be the boss, but as soon as you get out of the building, step out of the door, you're the same person. But if you treat that person nicely, that person will be loyal to you for the rest of your life. That is very, very important. But that, again, it starts with your own relationship to yourself first. I remember Venkat mentioned about When was the last time you looked in the mirror and you said to yourself, I love you and I forgive you? You mentioned that in that. And that's the beauty. Because if you start loving yourself, you start having a good relationship with yourself, and then you start building a relationship with our outside world. So what I bring to the table is that I understand the inner leadership a little bit. I'm not expert. I'm still in the journey. I understand the emotional reactions which it causes, because people have an ego problem, but we need to overcome our own ego to be able to help other people. People have a limiting beliefs, so let them overcome your own limiting beliefs and then help them limiting beliefs, and how that can impact your business and home environment. Because remember, when you are a leader, you're not only a leader at the outside world, but you're a leader at home, to your children, to your wife, to your parents, because you are moved into that alpha role which you've been thinking about all along. And then what I've done is that last 10 years, I have learned and applied those strategies to become a better version of myself. And this is my session, that this is what I want you to take away. And I can promise you, after today, when you sleep on the night, you'll be thinking about these things all the time. Trust me, you're not gone wrong or mad. It is that's how our mind plays. Because what you learn today, it goes into your subconscious mind. It's not on your conscious mind, it's on your subconscious mind. But that subconscious mind create a video, and that video just repeated itself again and again and again. So just think about it. This is what's going to happen to you tonight. So it's nothing wrong. It's a good thing, because you can remember some of those, and then you can apply those strategies and tools which we talk about, and then move forward from there. All right. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we have. So now this is, this is a great example. I've nicked it from somewhere, and I thank them for that. But it's important because it's actually emphasized the point. There is two things happening here: is me and the outside world. I have my own inner experience, and I've got the outer experience. Now, in the inner experience, what do I feel? And when I am reacting to something, what does the other people feel? And then we have got outer experience. So what do they do for me, and what do I do for them? So this is very important concept to understand. Remember, because what's been happening is that COVID has impacted our life beyond our imagination. The world we know is changed drastically. Working from home used to be a rare cases, but now is going to be a norm, because majority of the companies has identified that by pushing people to work from home, they are actually save money. But then what they don't realize is that when you're working from home, your mental capacity, your well-being, all those things is affected, because first suddenly you were at work, now suddenly you're working from home, and that's been impacted. So now more than ever, we need to take this journey towards our the inner leadership and self-discovery, to become the leader we want to be. This journey will take together towards the inner leadership and understanding that will help us to understand our mental health, emotional reaction, overcoming limiting belief, and then the most important thing in your life, you will get the naysayers. Because when you share your goals with them, they will laugh at you, they will mock you. You need to overcome them. The only way you can do that by having your own inner leadership, because leader understand what they have to do. They have a goal in mind. They have a vision in mind. So understand that. So question is that what is inner leadership, and how different the inner leadership is with the outer world? In this module, we'll define the inner leadership. We will explore how the inner leadership journey is the key to our personal growth, and how we can be inner leader to self first before we decided to start managing other people. There was a CEO from the General Electric, Jeffrey R. Imlet. He said, leadership is a deep self-discovery into yourself. His message kind of have a nice ring to it, but in reality, if you compare, it's much more personal, what he said. You probably have come across a great leader. You may be yourself a great leader. The reason you become a great leader because you've gone through your personal discovery and personal journey. And this is where it helped you to become in great success and great in the personal and professional life. That's what we're talking about here. All of the above transformation outline that whatever we do is majority of the time is the extrinsic, as I talked to you about, the everything which is outside to ourselves, right? But Jeffrey was talking about the inner leadership discovery in ourselves, because majority of the people until late 50s or until they go 6 feet under, they have never realized their purpose because they just don't have time for that. And that's why they struggle with the family, they struggle with the kids, with their own kids, they struggle at work, they never dream of achieving great things because it's just they're far too busy doing things which is least important. So what I'm saying is that we kind of miss that experience which we need to have of doing the self-discovery and inner personal journey. Venkat, next one, please. So what is outer versus inner leadership? Before we take a deep dive into our inner leadership, let us take a few minutes to understand what is opposite to the inner leadership. My personal understanding is that our outer world comprises of the actions like, including mainly daily activities like writing a report, managing a team, having a monthly meetings, managing third-party suppliers, managing third-party customers, managing customers. These are like a weekly and daily basis. These are the activities which we do, because they are in our subconscious mind, and because that's what we've been doing all our life. That's what we're busy at all the time, right? And this is what, okay, no, go back. Yeah, thank you. It is entirely depends on us, because this is what we're busy doing that on a day-in-day basis, right? For majority of the professionals, most of our time, like think about that, 8 hours every day, 40 hours a week, times 160 hours a month, we're doing external work. We're doing those activities as part of our profession. We're doing some of the house chores, but we never really take time to understand what is going on in us. What is that we really want? What is that we really like? That's where the difference is. In fact, much of our devoted time to the outer world, we are just too busy focused on the things which is least important. And that's where the issue lies. Because when all our goals are focused on towards the outer world, what is going to happen? Our inner goal, which is the wish, when we were, I'm sure we all growing up as a kid, we saw a dream, but has that dream really realized for you? What went wrong? Think about that. What is that stopped you? Because you stopped being an inner leader to yourself. You stopped that self-discovery journey. You got so busy with the social media, with the Facebook, with the TikTok, with all the other activities which is outside to you, external to you. But you never took a time to find what is that you really want. That's where the inner leadership starts. Okay. Next one. Okay. Thank you. So let's answer that question. So what is inner leadership? Inner leadership work is all about personal development, which allow us to explore the inner experiences which we have from the past, but not dwell on it, on ourselves and others, because we all have that. We have our own personal inner experiences between the age of 6 and 16. When we are growing up, we have that experience with our parents, with our siblings. But at the same time, we have experiences with our teachers, right? Understanding them, but not dwelling on them, not take them as a baggage to your present, which impacts your future. Think about our inner experience in the context of work, something we are used to doing. Or maybe in a various way, maybe is sometimes it's very difficult to conceptualize the inner working or self-discovery, because we are often focused on the outer activities rather than inner activities. Problem is that when we are worrying about, I'll give you an example. This morning, when I was coming to this session, my missus was worrying about for all the other activities, the outer activities, rather than worrying about what is important for her and why she needs to take a rest and relax, calm down. Because once you relax and calm down, you'll be able to perform a lot better than when you're worrying about the outer things. And it is tricky to be creative. That is because the inside understanding to do is how you think, not just what you do. Because when was the last time you really thought about, you sit down, take 10 minutes out of your busy schedule, sit down and relax. Okay, write it down, take a piece of paper, write it down exactly what I do really want. What do I achieve today? Did I get a satisfaction of achieving that? That's what we're talking about, the discovery, the inner leadership. Our inner leadership plays such an important role to connect with the outside world. But we may be, as a human being, don't give enough credit to that, right? Think about this. Earlier I mentioned that we need to build a relationship with ourselves. We need to build a relationship with the family, wife. We need to build a relationship with the kids. We need to build a relationship with our colleagues. But the only thing this will happen because if we have that relationship with ourselves first. Why do you think we have such a problem at the moment in the society where the mental health issues, divorce rate is high, kids don't want to listen to the parents? Because we bring in the past experiences and we build our inner leadership based on the past experiences, because what we saw our parents doing, we're bringing in our present and applying it, which is not helping. But the inner leadership is about self-discovery and understanding your goals, understanding your wishes, because we all have goals and plans of life and the purpose of life. Thank you. Thank you. Next one. Okay. I'm sure a lot of people know about the Stephen Covey here. People, he summed this up very nicely. People are working harder than ever. And it's so true. We have only 24 hours, but sometimes we're supposed to work 40 hours or 37 and a half hours. But what we're doing, we're working 60, 70 hours. The reason we are working harder because we lack clarity and a vision. We don't know what we want out of life. We don't have a clear GPS. We don't have that sat nav which will help us to get to the destination. And that's the reason they are not getting very far. And he summed it up in a way that they are, in essence, they're pushing a rope. Instead of pulling the rope, they're pushing the rope with all their strength. And this is what's going on in our society at the moment. Venkat, next one. Thank you. The reason I put this down here is, we are busy finding how instead of why. In order to have the inner leadership, or go on the personal self-discovery journey, we are focused on how we do that. And that's what happens is that then you become overwhelmed with the information, because you will get information from social media, YouTube, everywhere. Everybody's bombarding that information with you, and you become overwhelmed and you don't do anything. But when you start that with why, when your why is big enough, that why you're doing it, is it for your family, is it for somebody you really want to do, or is somebody else? That why, you need to understand that why. Once you understand that why, how is nor here nor there. How is just the tools or the strategies. Because once you discover your why, let me share a very good example. There was a a tribe. There was two tribes. One was living in the mountain. One was living in the valley of the mountain. One day, they always on the fight. One day, the mountain tribe decided came down and they grabbed a child, one of the child, and took it to the mountain. Well, the people who were living in the valley, they get together. They said, "Okay, we're going to rescue the child." But when they were close to the mountain, they could not find a way to get to the top of the mountain, because that's where the child was, kidnapped child was. But suddenly, a few minutes later, they saw this woman is coming down from the mountain with the child on her back. And they were kind of surprised, is that we were struggling to find a way to get to the mountain, and here you are, bring your child back. She goes, the child was not yours. Because that was her why. How, it doesn't really matter. Once you get your why, you will get your how. And people will support you, because there are people who will laugh at you, but there are people who will support you in your wider journey as well. Okay. Venkat, next one, please. Thanks. Is everybody with me so far? Raise your hand if you are with me so far. Okay. Now, this is like a life graph, I can call it. Okay. Next one. Yeah. Okay. This will tell you where are you right now and where you want to go. But guess what? There is a gap in between. And the gap is, Venkat, please. Majority of us, as I said to you earlier, focus on how instead of why. And that's where I come in to help you and share you the strategies of how you can do that. But you need to have your why first. If you don't have your why, how doesn't count. Absolutely, there is no meaning to how. Okay. Now, what we'll do is that let's take a journey with you. So let me share that 6 C's to your inner leadership. This is your how. But we will do some exercise on how, why. We will identify with why, but I'll share how you can do that. So why I call 6 C's to unleash your inner leadership, I have no idea. I found six C's, and I managed to put together that 6 C's. But if I find another C, I'll add to 7 C's to the inner leadership. But each has got very significance, and they are intertwined to each other. Very first one is clarity of a vision. Constantly we're talking about the clarity. The why we need to have a clarity of a vision is that where do we want to go? What is that we want to achieve? What is the goal? What is the purpose in life? There could be everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a goal. But what is that you want to achieve? What is that you want to do? But we need to have that clarity. We need to have that vision. And that's where later we were talking about, I'm going to help you to clarify that vision. Okay, next one. When you have a vision, you need to have a commitment. Why do you think every year in January, majority of the people who had a New Year resolution, and they fail because they don't have a commitment. They feel that overnight, oh, I'll make a New Year resolution on a piece of paper, put that under the pillow, and the pillow both, and then wake up in 31st of January, and I'll be fit and I will have a sexy body. It doesn't work like that. You have to be committed. You have to be going to the gym. You have to have the decent food, reduce your carbohydrates, all those things. That's the commitment. But if you don't have a commitment, you're going to be still the same person in February, and you still have the same body, whatever the body that is, and then you feel that, oh, damn, that didn't work. I'm sure you've come across that type of people a lot. And I'm sure sometime that happened to me as well. I was like that as well for a long period of time until I went on my own personal development journey. The third one is that you have a vision, you need to commit. Now understand what capabilities do you need. Do you need to go into the course? Do you need to join the university? Or do you need to get a coach? Do you need to read a book? Or do you need to watch YouTube videos with Tony Robbins, Jim Rohans, Daphne, Felipe? Get a coach. These guys are great coaches. They can help you. These are capabilities which we're talking about. We have got Samuel, we have got Venkat. He was talking about, he's a trainer as well. Is that what you need? These are the capabilities which we're talking about. Okay, next one. Okay, sorry, Venkat. Okay, next is consistency. That's where coming into the habits. We need to do the habits on a daily basis. Well, I'll show you a little trick how you can do that. And it'll be phenomenal because in that consistency, because I don't think we will have enough time to cover everything, but I will show you that what you can do 10 minutes every day will have such an impact on you. But that has to be done consistently over a month. Okay, next one. Then we're talking about you have to muster the courage. But I'm sure there is a times where you don't want to get out of the bed. I'm sure there's a time you don't want to show that bouquet to this lovely, sexy lady, which you are, especially for men, or even for the ladies, if you want to propose somebody, a boy, that you need to muster a courage. But if you don't muster the courage, what happens? Things fall aside, you're still the same, nothing changes. And the last one is, let me show you how to build your confidence and control your destiny. So this is pretty much what we're going to talk about in 6 C's to unleash your inner leadership. Okay, thank you. Next one. Sounds funny, right? How many people watch Marvels? But I'm not talking about this vision. Yeah, he's powerful. He has got his own ambition, but I'm not talking about this vision. But what I'm talking about is this vision. This one. Why am I talking about this? I've learned that my own vision needed correcting. In the college, when I put my first pair of glasses, I was shocked to find out that this big green blobs around the trees, they were actually a leaf, live and vibrant leaf. Because we have got these glasses, some of the times, the things which goes unnoticed, they become suddenly visible. It's just like an answer to the maths questions on the chalkboard. My entire life took a different view and vibrant clarity once I start moving. I'll give you an example there. If I move my glasses now and I put another glasses, my vision is clear because I can now read better. That's what I'm talking about, right? The glasses we choose to wear each and every day is a paradigm and a foundational belief through which we ourselves and everything, we see ourselves and everything around us. What we see inform us what we think and what we feel, which has a direct impact on what we do and what we get. If we are too invested in our own point of view, which we are as a human being, then we might miss seeing the true potential in ourselves and others, and that will stop your growth. We must capitalize God-given talent, which we all have. I usually say that if we remove you from you, you become a magic. Because there is an innate skill set that's been given to us by Allah, by God. Yeah. And what we do is we tend to squander that innate skill set. We do other things. We run around doing other things. But if we just focus on that, you'll be amazed what you can achieve. Right? The challenge is that we have habits, old habits, which we grown up with, that actually stopped us moving forward. That our growth gets affected. We can manage fears, emotions, negative beliefs, all those things. So the question is that what stopped us up till now? The problem is the lenses we see ourselves. It's time for us to change those lenses and let us work together to shift, to have that shift or have that paradigm shift. Okay. Next one. Thanks, Venkat. Make your vision so clear that your fear becomes irrelevant. Because every time we're trying to do something, our fear, which is we grew up with, come in the way and stop us. So make your vision so clear that your fear becomes irrelevant. Look at this picture. In there is a blob, no clarity, but as soon as you put the glasses, the different lenses, you can see that there is a building. That's what I'm talking about, clarity of vision. Okay, next one. No, go back, gone too fast. That's it, thank you. So why having a right vision is important? Okay, we plan for holidays, we plan for shopping, we plan for every other aspects of life. But what we fail to plan is we fail to plan for life. Let me share an example to bring this clarity to you. I'm sure we all watch Formula One car racing. One of the most important things beginner learn is to what to do when they lose the control, when the car going into spin. Their natural reaction is to avoid the wall. So what happens is that suddenly our focus becomes the wall. And usually that's where he ends up. But if his focus other than the wall, that's where he usually ends up. Because this is where instead of focusing on the wall, the driver is focusing on the road or somewhere else, and that's what happens, right? So basically what he's doing is that he's been trained to think of the end, begin with the end in the mind. This is one of the Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's what he talks about. When you're going into the journey, have a big end in your mind, the way you're going to end. And that is your GPS to get to that. And that's what Formula One car racing people are doing that as well. They're training people based having that end the way they're going to end up in mind. And that's what is avoid them to hit the walls or any other objects. So you may be thinking, what is got to do with the power of vision? Well, just about everything. Let me ask you that I'm sure here I have the same experiences. All our life, we always focus on not to fail, but yet fail. We always focus on, save that money. If this money is this for this or something else, but that's why. Guess what happens? Is everything money is run out in the end, and we never have enough money, or we never have enough time, or we never have, because our focus on all those things. Because we never have a clear sat nav or a GPS for our survival. In my experiences, I have found people approach to life is a very mild approach. They make it as they go along. They never have that clear vision, the where they want to go and what they want to do. When things don't work out, they complain. The why is such a disaster in their life. Could be marriage, could be kids, could be personal professions, careers. If it is an old saying, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you, but where you end up, you may not like it. Okay. Next one. Do we have any questions so far? Is everybody with me so far? That gives me time to drink some water quickly. Cool. Okay, I have a permission to continue, right? Okay. Now my question is, what the heck are you doing or are you going in life? Where are you going in life? It is a very simple question, the majority of us actually struggle to answer that question. Do you want some evidence? Let me ask you this. Write down in the chat box, what is that you don't want in life? We have got a couple of minutes. Let's have a look. I can't see anybody, Venkat, so the chats. Okay. Okay. Poverty, failure, rejection. Okay, see how easy is it when I'm asking you question is that what is that you don't want in life and why? Okay. You may get a sizable list because a number of times in my coaching session, I ask people to write down 100 good things about yourself. And everybody struggles because they have never thought about that. But when I ask them, tell me what are the bad things about yourself, within 5 minutes, I have 100 lists. Amazing, isn't it? We don't love ourselves. We don't have that relationship ourselves. We don't blow our own trumpet. Thank you for sharing that list. I totally understand that what you don't want in life. Now, let me flip the question. What is that you really want from life? Have you took a 10 minutes out of your busy 24 hours to answer that question? If you haven't, then what the hell are you doing with your life? Why and what are you busy with? Which is helping you to go nowhere. Amazing, isn't it? That this is what we're living like. It seems to me that we are driving a fast car, which is 100 miles an hour, hoping to get somewhere. But guess what? Because we haven't put anything, any destination in the GPS or the sat nav, we are going faster and faster. Fuel ran out, but we never got to the destination. It's like saying, you go to the train station, you go to the ticket counter, you said to the guy, says, give me the ticket. And he was going to ask you, where do you want to go? He goes, just give me the ticket anywhere. He may get very frustrated with you and he will give you a ticket. But where you're going to end up with that ticket, you're not going to like it because that's not where you want to go. And this is what's been happening, right? It is better to have an old tatty car with a GPS where you want to get to, and then slowly going, instead of 100 miles an hour, go 50 miles an hour, but you will get to the end destination. This is the unfortunate truth about our society. It doesn't matter how fast we go. It doesn't matter how much passion you put in. It doesn't matter how much energy you put into something. If you don't have a vision and clarity on the destination you want to reach, you will simply never gonna get there. The reason I call them a Lamborghini brain, because they're going faster and faster, but they're not going anywhere. Have you thought, think about this. How many people have come across is that, the Lamborghini mindset, and we call the microwave society, where we have a microwave, cooking time is only 2 minutes, right? And we put that in the microwave and we're still saying, hurry up, microwave. What sort of society are we living in? And that's the problem, because we are busy for being busy. We are busy for nothing. We are busy for something, God knows for what. That's the crazy, and that's why our anxiety level, our mental well-being, all the other activities is happening, which is not favoring our health, not favoring our relationship. We stop loving ourselves because Facebook is a classic example. Let me see how many likes I've got. Let me see how many people say thumbs up. Let me see how many people say give me hearts. Because we are believing on other people that they accept us. Why can't you accept yourself? This is where we're talking about the clarity. To be a successful and have a fulfilled life, we need to have a GPS, right? And the proverb says, without direction, people will perish. Unbelievable, right? I didn't say that. It's been around centuries. This is the prophets who said that they had the direction and they led the people in that direction. People follow that. Okay. So let me ask you these two questions. Answer that in the chat box, and then we'll jump onto that, the one which we're going to do next exercise. How are we doing with the time? We are okay, yeah? We still got 45 minutes, right? Okay. What is the vision of your life? That is the question to you today. What and who are you willing to fight for? Let's give a couple of minutes. Okay. Salim was vision to be a global peace creator. Fantastic. How about start the peace with yourself first? It's a great ambition, but think locally, act globally. There's a famous phrase. Fantastic. Absolutely. But the question is how? Right? Okay. Venkat, let's move on to the next one. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. You've been a great participant and a great listener so far. But in a few minutes, I'm not going to be talking. I would like you guys to do some homework. I know. Did I say homework? Sorry. I mean exercise. I know homework sounds horrible, right? You're back in the classroom. No, you're not in the classroom. I'm not a teacher. Okay. Can we jump onto the next one, please? Okay. Now, this is so important. Now, in order to go forward, we need to look back exactly what was like, what was our last year like, what was our 2019 like, what was our 2020 like. And then we are in September. So really 7 months is already gone, or 8 months is already gone. So let's review that. So before we continue to go forward, we need to look backwards. So see what stopped us up till now. Let's do this exercise. Now, 3 questions, and then use these 6 steps to answer those 3 questions. What did you achieve? What limiting belief hold you back? And what cost you up till now? Okay. Those are the 3 questions. But the things which I want you to write down on a piece of paper is that list 3 greatest things happened to you in the last 2 years since COVID. 3 accomplishments you had, you're proud of. Okay. 3 greatest lessons you have learned. 3 personal improvements you have made, and biggest risk you have taken. Okay. Can we just put people in the breakout room, Venkat? Can we do that? Let's do this exercise, guys.
How many packs do you want in the breakout room?
I think we have 70 people, right, in total.
Yeah.
So I don't know, couple of, just have like a 5 minutes in total, and then answer those questions.
But a question from Daphne: what is needed to be done in the breakout room?
Right. Okay. So list 3 greatest things happened to you last year. 3 accomplishments you are proud of. 3 greatest lessons you have learned. 3 personal improvements you have made, and the biggest risk you have taken. Do you want me to repeat that again? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
getting some people nodding their head. Please repeat.
Yeah. Okay. So 3 greatest things happened to you last year. 3 accomplishment you are proud of. 3 greatest lesson you have learned last year. 3 personal improvement you have made. And the last one is biggest risk you have taken. Let me see if I can put that in the, I'll put that in the chat box as well. Good. Yeah, just add 3, not 1. Thank you, Samuel. Let's do that instead of going to the breakout room. Let's do that here. Wow, fantastic. Let's start back in 3 minutes. What's the time now there? Thank you. I'm losing the time here. Time differences. You're on the mute.
3 more minutes to an hour session.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll resume in 3 minutes. Wow. Phenomenal. Amazing seeing that. True. Okay. 1 more minute. Cool. Okay. We'll start again. Thanks, Venkat. Can we just jump on slide number 17, please? Okay, great. Thank you guys participating. Really appreciate that. So let's start that question. Next one is that. No, next one. Where are you now? Is the, I think this is slide 17. Next one. We've done that exercise. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. So let's start with is that where are you right now? So you've done this exercise. They've given you an idea, right? Where are you right now, this second, this month? What is the situation or situations you're experiencing in your life? Maybe you're trying to find something or secure finance or getting married or doing a degrees or getting a doctorate, just like Daphne said. But because your back is against the wall, that's what the situation is, because you maybe want to do a lot of things, but there is a lot of extrinsic things is stopping you to achieve what you want to achieve. I've asked these questions to assess the situation. So we need to know our own starting point. So let's say this is our starting point. Our back is against the wall. What we need to do to fight back. I'm not talking about the physical fight back, but I'm talking about a emotional, mental habit fight back. I often hear that I need more money, more time. I wish I can clone myself. I said it myself. I never have enough time to do the business or get promotion or make more money. Most people think that they need 36 plus hours in a day. But we don't. Look at the Bill Gates. Look at Facebook owner. All these guys, they all have 24 hours in their life, but they become more productive. They improve their habits. They change their old habits into the new ones, and they become more. Their productivity increase because they change their habits. They stop watching TV 24/7. They stop doing things which is not beneficial to them. Where the reality is that we are lacking a crystal clear vision. Once you have a vision, then you will avoid any distraction. Problem is that until we have that, we will allow all these distractions and we become overburdened and overwhelmed. And that's what stops us doing anything at all. Because we are distracted, we focus more of our time on the least important things, which is not helping you in your personal and professional life. So now is the time to get a clear vision that where do you really want to go? Okay. Let me share 3 steps for you. Can we jump on to the next one, please? These 3 steps will help you to start making spaces and things like that before we actually do a clarity of vision exercise. The first and foremost important and fundamental principle of inner leadership is the clarity of a vision. Almost everything we do, we follow this necessary concept. If we get it right, we have the opportunity to become remarkably successful. Some tools and concepts that allows us to be more successful in 4 areas of our life: family, business, community, and self. Clarity of vision is the first step to allow to all that follows. So the step number 1, find a time and a space. Find a time, 10 minutes every day. That's it. I'm not asking hours and hours, 10 minutes. Find that time in your busy schedule. And then find a space where you feel comfortable, maybe under the tree, in the garden, maybe in the bed, maybe in some sort of a corner, to focus on your vision and gain that specific clarity in the process. Think, ponder, write it down, do the journaling. Because the more journaling you do, because at times when you start, you will find the field is a bit murky, too much dirt around that. But as you start pondering, start writing, it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. Clearer, just like this building. Because you've changed, you start changing the lenses slowly. Number two, do the deep work. Problem is, we don't do the deep work because we are marking our own homework. So we are not honest enough to ourselves. If you're not going to be honest, you're not going to get anywhere. And if you're not sure, and if you're married, ask your wife. She will make you honest, or ask your husband. But they will be very honest and upfront because they love you. But before they love you, you need to love yourself first. Be honest. Do the homework correctly. It's so, so important. And stop marking, giving yourself. If it's one, don't give yourself 10 points. If it's one, is one. But that is one step in the right direction. That's what we're talking about. Then write down the goals you want to achieve, the focus on the milestones. But make sure you pick just one. You probably have 10, 20, or 30 in your bucket list. Just focus on one. Once you accomplish that, move on to the next one. I'll tell you a little trick. In the morning, write it down, things to, instead of to-do list, things to achieve list. Just change the word from to do to achieve. Write down that list. Once you've done that, when you've completed that task, put a tick. The satisfaction you will get will be unimaginable because you feel satisfied because you've achieved that task. You didn't do, you achieved that task. That's the difference. That's what you're training your subconscious mind, who has got like elephant-like memories. Now, what we're going to do is that we're going to do the exercise. We may jump into a breakout room for 10 minutes each. Is that 10 minutes, 5 minutes? Let's see, let's do 5 minutes, right? So grab a piece of paper, right? Draw a line vertically and draw a line horizontally. Once you've done that, then on the left-hand side, write it down. Where are you right now? You have already done that exercise, so you can copy and paste it. On the right-hand side, write down what is your 1-year goal or 12 months goal or 24 months goal or 36 months goal. On the left-hand side, write down why those goals are important to you. On the right-hand side, write down what capabilities do you need to achieve those goals. Shall we put everybody in the breakout room? I think we have a 66, 67.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do 5 minutes if it's more than more, but let's do for 5.
Arafat.
Yeah, Venkat, is Raza gone?
Yeah, I'll message him now.
I think few are asking for help in the breakout rooms, Venkat.
Who is it?
Yeah, now it's gone.
I'm shifting some people around because I see there only one of them in some rooms, right? There's only one person, so I'm shifting them to another rooms.
Okay, did you message Raza? I'm messaging. Yeah,
He's online, hasn't read. Oh, he's there. He's there.
he just joined, right?
Okay, I think is people coming back in the room? Do we know? Venkat?
We have to close the rooms.
Yeah, okay. Can we, because I did mention 2 minutes, so
Okay, we can close the room if
yeah,
we
please.
have to.
Yeah.
Okay. Venkat is one of the room. So I'm just closing the rooms.
Okay, cool.
Done. Just few seconds.
Mhm.
Mr. Raza, can you type out the 3 questions again? Some of them are asking
Okay,
in the,
I mean
in the chat box.
clarity of vision.
The activity, the questions they're supposed to do now.
Okay, so this one is, let me just, what I will do is that I will share a template, Venkat.
Right, please do.
Yeah, yeah, and that will give them a clear view as to what they need to, because it's just, this will have a structure. Can I share it here? Let me just see if I can. OneDrive from a computer. Okay. Okay. Okay, we will continue in a second. Okay, so what they can do. I have shared a clarity tool, which they have their structure and they can follow that in their own time. So they can download that. Okay. Now the next one is, okay. So what I will do is I will put another one, the one which is the follow-up exercise, in there as well, and they can do that exercise in their own time. But I will do, what I'm looking for is somebody to, okay, I'm gonna do that. Somebody to work with me with this next exercise. It's like a little coaching session. Anybody brave enough? Anybody will be fine.
Monica raised her hand. Monica, Soldi.
Monica is okay. Hi, Monica. You're on mute.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for
Okay.
giving me this.
No problem. Okay, Monica, you have done, you have done that exercise, first exercise, which is a clarity. You've identified your goals on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, that, your future goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the third exercise, which is part of the same, is why. Let's pick up one goal of yours.
Okay. Okay.
So what is that one goal?
Okay, so one goal for year one is to impact 1,000 people.
Okay, why impacting 1,000 people is important to you?
It's important because I feel happy when when I'm able to help people, when I'm able to contribute. It gives me a sense of happiness. I left my paid job to move into coaching and training because I feel I'm earning also, and at the same time, it is helping my passions. So
okay,
you can say that, this is helping my passions. That is the big why for it.
Okay, now question is that why happiness is important to you? This is the second why.
Happiness is important because I feel that if you have everything in life and if you're not happy, it is not worth it.
Why do you think that you need to have everything in life? Otherwise, life is not worth it.
No, I feel that you must have, I feel that the wheel of life must be balanced. right? If I have, all this will contribute to the happiness.
Okay, so why do you think wheel of life must be balanced?
Life, okay, because if there is an imbalance in wheel of life, it will lead to stress, it will lead to anxiety, it will lead to a toxic environment, and life is not worth it. That is not the purpose of life.
Okay, where is that coming from?
What
Where is that the experience you're talking about, the anxiety, the stress, the toxic environment, all those things, where is that coming from?
maybe from my experience.
Okay,
Yes.
which experience are we talking about here?
I'm talking about an experience where in corporate I worked for plus 20 hours.
Okay, right.
In earning, and there was an imbalance in my life, right? And at the same time, I was not able to meet my passion. That is why I moved to coaching, right?
Right.
I said that I'll be with my family, and this
Okay.
is, the world has become digital. I'll be staying with them. I'll be at the same time, I'll be contributing and I'll be earning money. So
Okay.
that is how.
No, okay, understood. But the thing is that realize that because your why is related to your childhood. It's not what you know right now. Is what happened to you in the childhood between 6 and 16. Because that's what you saw your parents doing, that giving life to the corporate and to somebody else.
My father was not in the corporate. He was with government of India, but yes.
Which is, it is a corporate environment. It's a blue collar, what do you call it, white collar job in a corporate environment.
That's right.
And that's what is important, right? That's where it's coming from. So understand that these are the whys, because we adopt what our parents do. We become their copies. But what we forget while we're growing up is that what is that we love ourselves. And that's gone missing. But when you go into the corporate, living into corporate 24, 20, 30 years, you realize that I don't love this anymore. I've seen doctors, I've seen lawyers, including me. I mean, I'm in technology. I hate it. I used to love it because it gave me the money, but now I hate it. I don't like it anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, but is that the deep down, is that what is that we really need? Or why do we need it? That why? Because remember, your 12 months or 24 months goal, until you attach your why, you will not achieve that, because you will be busy on how achieving those goals. Yeah, don't worry about the how you will find. Why is the key.
That's
so pick up a goal you have, keep asking your why, and so what? If I've achieved that goal, then what? I give you an example. I used to love Audi cars. Once I've got the Audi, it's like, now what? I've achieved that, then what happens? So imagine that you've achieved that goal. Now you're going to say, now what? Suddenly you're thinking, that's it. Life is over. But that's not the case, because something along those lines, you need to continue.
So your voice is breaking, sir.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Yeah,
It's better now. Yep.
Okay, because I think my headset is played a little bit, but understand where I'm coming from. So this is what is important. Asking why is the key, because asking why will lead you towards your inner leadership journey, because that's the self-discovery and personal development side of it.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you for participating in that.
Thank you.
And Roxani, thank you for nominating Monica. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Okay. So guys, Venkat, you're gonna jump onto the next slide, because I just wanted to show that, once you've done the exercise, then it's so important to ask that why. Because most of the time we don't ask that why.
Right.
If you don't ask, as they say, if you don't ask, you're not gonna get it.
Right.
As simple as that. Is the next one. Yeah. Identify your why. Pick up a goal, ask seven whys to yourself, and then towards the end, add another and so what. A lot of people plays with what if conditions. What if conditions is a mathematic condition, is not a human condition? What if I fail? So what? You fail, you try again. Failure is first attempt in learning. If you fail in attempting, so what? You learn and you apply it. Now you pick up the good bits, throw the bad bits, and apply again. That's what we're talking about. Okay. Next one, please. Thank you. Thank you. Now we are on towards the end of our journey, and I've got a few minutes or 5 minutes. Arafat, and it seems like I'm overrunning. Okay, I'm going to talk about the rest of the 5 C's, but they are a lot more because I'm putting together a course around this, and that each C is a lot more deeper work to yourself. It's all about your personal journey, personal development. That's what we're talking about. But in this one, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to touch base on each of the 5 C's. You have identified your new goal. Now it's time to anchor that in our subconscious mind. Remember, you may be thinking your old limiting beliefs, your old bad habits, which you had from 5, 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. And they will not disappear overnight, believe you me. It's like, you're walking in a path which got a lot of bushes, and you're going to clean all those bushes in one go. They're going to come back following morning. But then you need to keep walking on that path in order to make a path. That's what we're talking about in this one as well. And these rest of the 5 C's will help you that, right? Overcoming that, okay? So what is the second C? Second C we talked about is commitment. You have shown the commitment on Saturday to be here with me. That's a commitment, right? But you need to commit to yourself as well in order to move forward in your personal and professional life. Any significant changes requires commitment. We talked about going to the gym. That's a commitment. To have a healthy life, healthy body, healthy mind, that's a commitment. If you're not going to commit yourself, then it's just no point taking any journey. You might as well be, I wonder someday something will happen. That's the life majority of the people are living. Third C is consistency, but you need to be doing every day. Now, let me show you let me tell you a little trick. Do that every day, 10 minutes. There is a trick. There is a thing called compound effect. You do that 10 minutes every day. Over 30 days, that's 300 minutes. You have near enough invest. I call it invest. In your life, 3 hours from your busy schedule. 30 days later, you may not recognize the changes in you, but other people will notice. But they cannot tell you what those changes are. But they are noticing that you are changing. That's what the power of that 10 minutes and compound effect is. Keep doing that. Or if you think 10 minutes is too much, do 5 minutes every month. But slowly, gradually increase it if you can afford it. Okay. Then the fourth C we talked about is the capabilities. What capabilities do you need? Do you need a coach? Do you need to read a book? Do you need to join coaching academy? Do you need to take a course? Do you need to take a marketing course? Do you need to join the university? What is that you need? Do you need to watch Tony Robbins videos, or do you need to read books? These are capabilities. If you're unsure, from this group, from these coaches, we have 40 coaches, take a notes, apply it on yourself. These are capabilities I'm talking about.
Hey, come. Yeah.
Okay. The fifth one is the courage. Now, let me share one of my funny personal story, right? Okay. All changes is in the personal and professional life starts with courage. During my college years in UK, we were sitting in the canteen in the restaurant, in the college restaurant. And there was we get this February 28th, something is something, I can't remember the name. Anyway, there was a bunch of roses was bought by a few friend of mine. And there were some really good looking young girls who were sitting there, but they were too scared to give those roses to them. They are nasty, nasty people, some of them. I mean, I don't talk to them now. I haven't seen them for a long time. But they were just too scared to give those roses to those ladies. So I said to them, what's a big deal? Give it to me, I'll give it to them, right? I had to take a courage. I had to build that courage in me, grab those roses, went along, and I said to the lady, this is the roses for you, right? I didn't bend down on the knees or anything, but I found the courage and give it to them. The funny thing is, though, those stupid friend of mine, they kind of spread the rumor in the classes that I fancied that girl, and that's why I give those roses to them. Crazy, right? But I'm talking about the courage here. The reason I'm bringing this example is that we have to have a courage. Now, if you want to go out with somebody, you have to find a courage to ask somebody out. If you want to get married, you have to find a courage to get married to the person or even proposing. When you're having children, that's a courage because you need to look after them for the next 20, 25, 30 years. All those activities is part of courage. We need to have a courage. But this time around, my question is, you need to have a courage to change your life. Not anything else. It's about you. That's what the courage I'm talking about. And the last one is, I found another C, which is next one will be 7 C's, but the last one is confidence and controlling your destiny. If you keep doing all those 5 C's, you will have confidence, which you may and may not realize that. Other people will do. You will control your destiny. But the work needs to be done. Yeah. Don't hide yourself. Get the work done. Get the work in. Otherwise, you'll be exactly the same when the clock strikes next year. Okay. If you're not sure, I mean, at the moment, I have started a accountability group as well to help people to go to the next level. Yeah. Which is like, we have 100 years of experience between 5 of us. We'll bring that 100 years experience to you. So that's an accountability partner or a group that will help you to pull you, push you to get you to the destination where you want to go. And be honest with yourself, for God's sake, because we are not honest. That's the problem. My challenge to you is, make now is your turning point. Not yesterday, not day before. Today should be your turning point. Okay. Is be this year, this month, this moment. What you have accomplished so far is only the fraction what you are capable of. You're more powerful, more capable, and gifted than you give a credit to yourself. The only thing is separating you, from your grandest vision, is you. Change you, have a courage to do that, and you will achieve biggest things in life. Now, Venkat, the next one, please. And then I'm pretty much done. Okay. Next one down. Perfect. The reason I put this quotes here is that I cannot teach people anything. I can only help you discover within yourself. You already have that capabilities. But it's time for you to discover that. Okay. Have a promise to yourself that using these symposium to be a stepping stone for you to go to the future you desire. That's to be it. Venkat, do you want to go to the next slide? And okay, these are my, if you want to send me email or connect with me on the LinkedIn or Facebook or say, or the Instagram, these are my contacts. Okay. And I have an offer for you guys. My offer is that first 5 people who put their email addresses, I'll give them a 6 coaching session each for first 5 people. And then I am planning to run a mastermind. I haven't finalized the date yet. I haven't finalized the topic yet. The first 25 people will get free mastermind. That means that you will be spending between 4 to 5 hours with me and doing this exercise, some of those exercises in detail. And I am putting together a training course around 6 C's. The first 50 or 25 or 50 people will get 50% discount on my course. This is my offer. And that's it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Raza.
You're welcome. Okay, we can jump onto the Q&A session. So I'm here.
Mr. Raza,
Mm-hmm.
very much early into the session, Sunita had posed a question.
Sure.
What if you love others more than yourself?
That's what we do. Because problem is, Sunita, problem is that the reason we love others because we become a people's pleaser, and that's what we saw when we were growing up in the childhood, pleasing other people but not caring yourself.
That's the biggest problem usually I have, that I always
Yes.
keep pleasing others. And
Absolutely.
today I look at myself and I ask that, what have I done for myself?
Agree.
So that's
So
the
my
biggest problem. I keep pleasing others and I keep hurting myself.
and
Just
at the
because
same
please others. So I think it's a very unfair thing which is happening in me. And this has been happening for the past 40 over years. This has been happening.
yeah, the reason, Sunita, is happening is because this is what you saw when you were growing up. This is what you saw your parents doing. This is what you saw the other community members doing. And that's what you adopted. It's nothing new. Problem is that you get hurt a lot by pleasing other people. You do a lot of things for the people, and then you're hoping that somebody will do something for you. They don't, you get hurt because you become a people pleaser. Be a selfish a little bit.
But then
Nothing
again,
wrong with.
do not appreciate. At the end of the day, they say, oh, you have pleased me for 10 years. Fine, that's just 10 years. So what? I'm moving on in my life. So
Exactly.
torn
Exactly.
apart. So end of the day, for the 10 years of me pleasing that person, what did I gain? Nothing. It's zero. Back to zero. And I got to practically rebuild myself everything from A to Z. So that's the saddest part. That we actually have such kind of human beings.
Agree.
I mean, very self-centered, think of themselves, and finally they can just tell you, I led a fake life. Is there a fake life? I don't know. I don't know, it's very mind-blowing. Suddenly, after 10, 12 years, people come and tell you, I led a fake life. Then 2 kids, is this 2 kids fake for you? I don't know. It's the biggest question which I always think.
Okay, so my thing is, my recommendation is that I had somebody I coached in South Africa, was in a similar scenario as you have, Sunita, and I said to her, it's like, for 5 minutes before you support somebody else, for 5 minutes, think about that. Be a selfish little bit. To start with, like a couple of minutes being a selfish. That what is that? How is that gonna help me by helping him? Sounds selfish, right? But you need to be in order to protect you.
It's gone, divorce, finished.
Yeah, exactly.
The chapter has already been closed. But when I sit and think back, for me to actually put him number one, and the end of the day, what I hear is we led a fake life. So what about the kids? Did the kids come out accidentally? Don't you know, consciously, unconsciously, these are your kids?
Yeah, I think the unfortunate thing, Sunita, you're talking about our Asian culture, which is not the greatest.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with
I'm telling you.
It is not the greatest.
Great What about Rasta does that?
Yeah, and the problem is that when we talk about the mental illness or mental well-being, they don't even recognize that. I had somebody who was saying is like, oh, she said, look, I'm having a mental issue with myself. And her parents said, are you mad? Are you ill or something? Because they regard that mental illness or mental well-being is related to the illness, which is not, because everybody has got different way of thinking, different way of applying, and different way of doing things. So that's what it is. But my recommendation is that give yourself a 5 minutes, think about that, why this is important, what you're doing for somebody else. But be as selfish for a change. Because if you're not being selfish, people will take advantage with you all the time. And surround yourself people who will promote you and push you to get to your goals and get to your destination, wherever you want to go.
I
But
believe that I've overcome it. Not that I'm dwelling into my past, but that's the very sad episode which actually shook me up.
Agree. But I would say is that dwell in your past, write it down on the piece of paper quite a few times and burn it. Every time you burn it, you feel lighter and lighter and lighter. This is the technique and trick has been used for God knows how many, 20, 30 odd years. Write it down, what happened to you in the past. Keep writing down, complain in that letter. Don't need to share with anybody. Just burn that letter. You will feel lighter, because what's happening is that you're carrying your baggage from the past into your present, which is impacting your future. So be careful, because whatever you're doing in the present, you're bringing out from the past, and that is impacting your future as well. So just keep doing this exercise for a couple of times, and then follow up with all the other things which we talk about, the clarity, vision, and why, and all that stuff. Then do afterwards. But do this exercise first. Write it down of your past experiences with your husband, with your girlfriend, whatever. I don't know whatever that is. Yeah, your husband, right?
Just kids and myself now.
Yeah, your husband, right?
Enough
so
is
right,
enough.
I mean, I had a similar somebody whose boyfriend was abused her all her life, and that's what the exercise, and she feel transformed now by just doing this exercise. So do that.
Thank you so much for the advice.
No problem.
Thank you, Mr. Raza.
You picked up my wonderful question.
Okay.
Mr. Raza, we have a few more questions coming in.
Sure.
But before that, I just want to share, Coach Sandeepa had shared this in the chat box. We see the 6C in diamonds. That's why we are diamonds in making, in relation to your 6Cs too. Thank you, Sandeepa.
Thank you, Sandeepa. Phenomenal. Excellent. We have
Tasneem with the hands up there. Tasneem, would you like to unmute yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So excuse me, but if I heard well, at the beginning of the session, you said that it's almost all about ego.
It is.
Isn't it?
It is, yes.
So can you explain us this term?
Yeah, because, every time we approach, because, the leadership, when we go into the leadership mode, leadership is all about either you do as I'm telling you, or else you're out on the road. Problem is, that's where the ego is, because we have become too big. And we have not done, and this attitude, this thing is coming from what we saw when we are growing up. We are living in 21st century, but majority of the leaders is still in the 18th century. They're behaving like that. Yeah. In 21st century is not about me, it's about the person I am dealing with. But in order to deal with that person, I have to have a relationship with myself. Yeah. If I don't have a relationship with myself, how am I going to have a relationship with somebody else? Yeah. Okay. My ego is coming, oh, I'm a man, because you're a woman, you need to do this way. No, it's not about that. It's about understanding that everybody has an opinion, but allow enough time to other people so they can share their opinion, they share their vision as well. But if you become opinionated, that's an ego coming in, because I'm a big board, I'm more intelligent than you, what should I care? That's where the ego is coming in. And the leadership, majority of the leadership has that ego. And I've seen a lot more in technology. It's just unbelievable. Because in technology, we have a power because we shut you down if you don't listen to us. That's the ego is a big problem.
Yes, I see that it is a big problem mainly in the university. So I'm a teacher at the university. I try to practice an interactive pedagogy with my students, and which is very sad that many teachers apply the ancient pedagogy. So they have. So I know all. So but now all the informations are accessible for us. So for us and for our students. So we need the most now to practice leadership as a teacher. So it's very important. Yes.
Yeah.
And it is a problem of ego.
Ego. Problem is that the not just the ego, they have the emotional reactions which Venkat talked about a few days ago, because we all have emotions, our anger, our anxieties, all those things. And problem, I mean, that's what I talk about when I'm talking to the teachers is, do you guys realize the important role you're playing with the kids who are going to be a mature people and a good for the community?
Yes.
If you don't have your own emotional reactions and own limiting belief in control, you're going to impact their lives.
Yes.
And in such a big way that you will destroy their life. My teacher, 3 times, my teacher told me I will be good for nothing. 3 times. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that my teacher in UK, he said to me, I will never work in the IT industry. Because I was new coming from Pakistan in the UK, my English wasn't good enough. He was assessing me based on that.
Yes.
24 years on, I'm still working in the IT industry. I want to get rid of it, but I'm still stuck. Is that this is what is coming from, and this is what the teachers don't realize, that they are impacting children's life. So they have to be emotionally intelligent.
Yes, I'm afraid. Yes, just a little question. I'm afraid. Sometimes I'm afraid if my journey to have a better skills now, to look at better performance in teaching or in training or other. So I look at more. For example, I have the English is my 3rd language, and I try to teach with English because it's international and it helps my students to encourage and motivate them. I try to develop to look at good and better personal development, and what I am with you. I'm very happy. But your first C, I think it is the most important, because what I need, I know that what I need is the vision.
Absolutely.
Why?
And one more thing.
Why?
Yeah. And why? The one more thing is, I was going to say this name, and I said to a lot of people who I coach, don't use the word try, because when you use the word try, you are already ready to fail. That's what the word try means, right? Yeah. Let me share an example with you. Put a pen in your hand and try to pick it up. Try, not picking up, try to picking up. Would you pick up the pen, or you just pick up a pen?
Just trying.
Yeah, just trying, because trying means that in your mind, you're already telling, if I don't succeed, I'm okay. I can live with that.
Yeah.
That's what try means. So remove the word try from your vocabulary. Just say, I'm going to do this. That's it. And yeah, you're going to have a clarity of a vision. You're going to write it down. You're going to do this exercise. That's it. Why that goal is important. That's it. Don't use the word try, because try is just means that you are ready to fail already in your mind. And that's not where we are.
Yeah, I do my best and I communicate with you in English.
That's fine, because I know you read Arabic, you speak Arabic, French, probably and
Yeah,
English,
yeah.
right?
My second language is French. English is my third language.
Correct, correct. My English is my third language as well, because I read Arabic, I speak Urdu, and English is my third language. But practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
Remember the courage. Keep doing 6 C's. You will build the courage, and you'll be okay.
Okay.
You'll be
Thank you.
phenomenal. All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Tasneem. Thank you, Raza.
Thank you.
We have
Thank you.
Monica with her hands up and also a question she posed in the chat box. Maybe Monica, you can unmute and raise a question also.
Thank you again, sir. I wanted to ask you a question. You had mentioned that it is the past experience which one has between the age of 6 years and 16 years, wherein you can find an answer to your why.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I want to know that the recent experiences do play a role in giving an answer to why or not.
They do, but the reason is you are what you are is what you were, because remember at the age of 6 and 16, this is where we develop our habits. This is where we develop our, the blackmailing attitude or emotional reactions or limiting beliefs. Right?
Yeah.
I tell you why I'm saying that, because I do coaching on the emotional intelligence as well. Majority of the emotional intelligence is being researched and done in the business environment, not in the home environment. Right? Now, I'm sure you've come across this particular message is why this guy is acting like a child.
Yes.
I'm sure you said it yourself,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
The problem is that his inner child never grew with him because he already had that emotions. Because somebody told him not to, somebody gave him limiting belief and everything, and his body and his mind is grown. Not mind, his body is grown, but his inner child never grew with the time. That's why he is still like acting like a child. Because then you know that this is how you're going to deal with him. By pleasing him, by giving the cakes or tea or coffee, because suddenly now they turn. Because now that child has been pleased. So the idea is you need to help your child to grow, because your child is there. He hasn't grown from that side. That's what I'm saying is that if you go in that era, you will find that. There is another exercise which I can highly recommend to everybody, is that take a plain piece of paper. I don't know, Venkat, did you do that exercise with us? Take a plain piece of paper, draw a house how you like it. Okay, and then ask questions. If you draw a door, if you draw a window, if you draw the garden, all those, ask your why. And guess what? You will find your why from that house. Is unusual exercise. Be careful. Have a tissues box with you next to you, because there may be tears is coming out, because that will remind you. So it is important to go forward or come into the present. You need to conquer your past, because your past is constantly pushing you, because you become a time traveler. You have a crystal ball in your hand, because you assessing your situation from the past, and you based on that, and you predicting your future. Future hasn't happened yet. Build your present, get rid of your past, then future will come.
Okay, so here is a breakthrough which I want to share. You asked me that why is it that you want to remain happy and you want to have a balanced life, right? So I had answered it differently. Now my answer is that when I was in the age group of 6 to 16 years, I led a very happy life. I saw my parents leading a very balanced life. Right. So when I moved, as I grew up, I had a family, I was looking after my family and I was looking after my office also. So that led to some kind of an imbalance. So probably I wanted to come back to the same pattern.
Correct.
And that is my why.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Probably I answered you differently earlier, and this is a breakthrough which I wanted to share, and I wanted to ask you more on it.
It's excellent, and I'm so glad that I have been helping you in your journey. I'm just so happy that because you see, majority of the time, when I'm talking about the inner leadership, go back to your age 6 and 16. If you conquer that, identify that, because what we are today is because what we saw and what our parents were.
Yes.
And we are just a true copy of them. Conquer that, and you grow your child, and you become a better person, the person you wanted to be. That's what we're talking about.
Yes. Thank you so much.
No problem. Anybody else?
This is from our coach, Samuel, in regards to the question Sunita had posed about, being selfish and self-love. So what he posted here was, isn't it positive energy to see it more as self-consideration than selfishness?
You can have a positive energy all the time, my friend, but there is at times will pull you down. We, as a coach, I have good days, I have a bad days, but when is a bad days, I still have to do the same thing again to improve my energy. Because if we don't, if you're not selfish enough a little bit, I'm not saying 100% selfish, just say 5% selfish out of 100%, that will help me to bring because sometimes I put myself ahead of everybody else. Sometimes, not all the time. Yeah. And then, just like Rebecca said, drawing a house. Did we do that exercise, Venkat? I don't think you did that with me. No, I think we
did not. We did not.
Yeah, we
No,
should
we
do
didn't.
that. Yeah, we should.
Yes.
I think please do this exercise and share in the Facebook group. That is such a great exercise. It's unbelievable. Coach Samuel.
Let's go back to it.
I think Rebecca, Raza, what Rebecca wants is you to explain about taking a paper to draw the house, the window. What is it?
Okay.
We're going to achieve
Okay.
from there. All the steps.
Okay.
To it.
So when you draw a house, just take a plain piece of paper and draw a house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now you may not realize it. We as a personality is actually the house. We don't realize that until you draw it. Okay. Because we as a human being is a house in itself with a lot of windows, with a lot of inputs, with a lot of outputs. The garages, we're parking our own habits and all those things. So draw a house. And you're drawing a house, draw like, the gardens and the swings and things like that. After that, then take this why questions, start asking why. If you draw 4 windows, why? If you draw your door, why? If you draw a lock on that, why? By doing this exercise, you'll get deeper and deeper and realize it's exactly what's going on. It may be scary, but that's what is going to come out. And it will help you understand exactly some of those emotions, where they're coming out from and why. Because nobody has asked you that question, how you're doing, how you're feeling, Sunita? Are you okay? Can I help you? Can I help you, Monica? Can I help you, Tasneem? Nobody, because everybody is living in their own little house. They don't have time for the other people. Yeah, that's the exercise. And it's been, the first time I did on my sister-in-law's, bad practice. I should have put a disclaimer that, never try it with your family. First time I did that with my sister-in-law, I was in Pakistan. And we just picked out, I said, why don't you draw a house? And on the house, I started asking questions. Next thing you know, it was like tears was rolling from their eyes, because nobody asked that question. Nobody touched them in that way to come out and bring it out. That's what I'm talking about, because that when building that house and asking why will touch you, will ask you to do things which you have never done that before. Sounds crazy? It works. How? I have no idea. Yeah, but if you have more than 1 or 2 windows, yeah, that means that you are very open. You allow people to come in and hurt you as well. Just to give you a tip. try to close some windows by doing the personal development and putting yourself as a selfish person.
Thank
Samuel.
you, Raza. Yeah, we have Samuel and Jocelyn with their hands raised. Samuel would like to go first.
Yeah. And by the way, guys, Samuel is coming tomorrow, and he's been the star of the show so far. Yeah. And he's coming, and I think he's going to transform you totally different ways. I don't know how he's going to do that, but he's there tomorrow. Isn't it, Samuel? Do you want to say a few words and then ask your question?
Great. Thank you very much, Raza. This has been very, very empowering, very equipping, very inspiring, and I really appreciate all that you have shared with us. Thank you very much. Indeed, tomorrow I will be taking us through another session, a session on being an inspired leader. Being an inspired leader. We always talk about being inspirational leaders. We talk about inspiring others. But I strongly believe that unless we begin from ourselves being inspired, we will not be able to inspire anybody anywhere, whether it's in our personal families or whether it's in our businesses or in our communities, wherever. So I will be giving us some critical key reflections for those kinds of leaders that actually transform generations, not only people in their own time. Now, to my issue that I was raising in the chat, it was about just the choice of word. When you say, be selfish, just a little, I really get the point. I really get the gist of the matter. I honestly get the gist of the matter. But my issue as a student of words is a focus on the power of language, the power of words. Because the moment I say being selfish, selfishness brings to me the thoughts of egotism, egocentricity, self-absorption, narcissism, and that leaves me internally with a sense of guilt, which may psychologically or emotionally weaken me a bit. But when I look at it as self-consideration, now I'm looking at regarding myself, self-regard, self-love, and that leaves me empowered. So I honestly agree with you, and I get the gist of the matter. I was just highlighting the power of words.
Samuel, English is my third language, remember. I'm still working after 30 years. I'm still looking for words.
Well done.
Agree. We had Jocelyn's hand was there as well.
Okay, good evening. I'm from Philippines, sir.
Nice to meet you, Jocelyn.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, I would like to, actually, this is not a question. This is just a thought that I would like to share.
Sure.
From everybody, because I'm happy to be with this group. I would like to, one point, I would like to give emphasis on a while ago with Madam Tasnim. Am I right, Mom? Yes, I heard you're a teacher. Also, I'm connected in an academy, Mom. So I really agree that somehow teachers are really hard to handle. Sometimes, you know, they have the emotions, negative emotions that somehow affects the students also, the same with the colleagues and same with the other individuals. So I'm happy that I'm in this webinar with you guys, because of the learnings I can direct and assess teachers and somehow help them and share my knowledge coming from you guys. And from the point of view of Madam Rebecca, okay, with the exercise given by Sir Raza, okay, I have also clients here in the Philippines because I am a registered psychometrician. I also have that activity, but definitely from my client, you are really right in saying that it's a subconscious feeling when you draw a house. When I have this also activity when you draw a person, psychologically speaking, not only releasing emotions, but we somehow find subconscious and then we can help our client to address what really coming from their subconscious, subconscious mind, their emotions, subconscious feeling, and some negative thoughts. Then we can direct them into a positive one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Sir Raza really understand what I'm saying with this kind of exercise. But I don't have questions, sir, but I acknowledge really the exercise that you are telling us a while ago. That it really helpful for our students and for our colleagues also. This is now, I'm happy to hear that we have on the same level of, understanding somehow in addressing emotions and addressing subconscious feeling of our students also. Thank you very much for this group.
No problem.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Raza, we have Albine from Lebanon with the hands raised. Come, Albine.
Yes.
Hello, Albine.
Hi, hello. How are you?
I'm good.
I just noticed something regarding the house exercise, and I remembered something. There's a house that I used to draw maybe since I was 6 years old, and it's the same house that I draw till now, but it never came. Seriously, is it something normal?
It is. Yeah, because thing is that you had a fond and loving memories going to that house. And you whatever the emotions and the habits you picked up from that house. So you're not the first one who has got exactly the same house which you had when you were at the age of 6. I have that experience. Somebody else did. They draw a house and says, "Oh my God, that's the house I used to live in when I was 5-year-old." So this is what we have that in us, but we have put that in our subconscious mind. And by building that house, now you've built that house, you have a fond memories. Now go back and visit and see what those memories were. When you start doing that, you start realizing is the importance of that. That you were growing up, you had a good family, parents, siblings, all those things, happy memories.
Yeah, because I cannot draw another house, now thinking of it, I can never, even now, I can never think of another house. I will go back to that same house always.
Exactly. But it's normal, And this is what it is. But what we don't realize, that's what I'm saying, is that we as a human being are a house in itself.
Yeah.
And we grew up in an environment, and that's the environment we want to go back. And that's the environment we want in our life.
I think in a way it gave me some sense of security. Maybe that's why I like to go back there.
Correct. So it's worth asking that question, that why did you feel
exactly
that you when you got to the house, why did you feel you were secure? Is it because of parents, the environment? Is it your siblings? Is it the teacher? Is it the friends? They give you that security.
Yeah,
and that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, but now talking about it, I felt not sad, but those nostalgia. I don't know how to say it. That's the feeling I have now. A lot of nostalgia, if you want, but the good ones, not the.
No, that's what I'm saying, is the good ones. But at the same time, you probably have a bad ones as well.
Yes.
So the idea is doing this house to bring the bad ones on the forefront.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
And then write it down and then burn it and all that stuff.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Raza, we have one more question from Mary.
Sure.
How can you deliver a culture that is sustainable through the C's, which you gave, at workplace?
Right. Start with yourself. I start with myself first. We have a habit of, if we are married, this is okay. I'll give you an example. Don't try that at home. That's a disclaimer first. Okay. When I learned about the emotional intelligence strategies and tools, I thought, let me apply that on my wife. Bad mistake. Right. What happened was that I see how quickly can she be triggered And guess why she was triggered? And I felt like living in the doghouse at that time. I've been kicked out, literally. So first thing first. So, and after that, once she's done with being shouting at me and all that stuff now, I mean, we are very good friends as well, but we understand. But I know that how quickly she can be triggered. So that's why I just thinking is that, but from that point, I learned my lesson never to apply those strategies in the family. But once she's calmed down a bit, I said to her, I was just testing my strategies. And she goes, how do you like it? And boy, I did not like that at all. So the first thing is that whatever you learn, don't apply it to your colleagues or to your friends. Build it. Be the lantern. Be the light. Because once they see the light, they will start changing. Don't change anybody else but yourself. The focus has to be you. Self-consideration, as Samuel said. Build you, and people around you will build. Because they see the changes in you and how you interact with them, they will start behaving with you in that manner. You need to be disciplined yourself. You need to set the boundaries. Once you do that, give you example is a little example. I think we're overrunning at the moment. Oh boy. Give you example is that somebody's coming to you as you're the manager. Somebody's coming to you and says, boss, you have 2 minutes, but your focus was something else. And you said yes to that 2 minutes. And guess what? That 2 minutes turned into half an hour. And now you are in the middle of something you wanted to deliver. Your focus is gone. Now it's taking you another couple of hours to get back that focus. But if you become disciplined enough, you could have said, look, right now I'm in the middle of something. Why don't you put some time in my diary and I will give my undivided attention. Now what you're doing is that you're showing them the light. You're teaching them that your time is important. And at the same time, you're telling them that once we are together, I will give you my undivided attention. By just simply saying that, put that time in the diary. That's what you're doing. And that's what we don't do often enough. So start with yourself first. Now, I had Sidra was asking me that what my other languages are. First is Urdu. I brought up in Pakistan, so I speak Urdu. I read Arabic and I speak a little bit German because I worked in Germany, and English is my third or fourth language. So, cool. I think it's been a phenomenal journey for me, guys, and I really appreciate that. And thank you for the time, and thank you for listening to me. It's been excellent journey for me, and thank you. Appreciate that. And Arafat, I mean, we have a leader who's an inner leader and an external leader. Arafat, yeah, is all goes to Arafat.
Thank you, Raza. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you for a wonderful session.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Raza, so much.
Thank you. If we don't have Arafat, we have captured all the emails because I want to make sure that everybody gets.
Yes, it's with me in the chat box.
Okay, perfect.
It's with me.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate that. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, and start your journey as of today.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Raza.
Thank you. Thank you, Venkat. And he's been a fantastic host.
Thank you.
Fantastic
Thank you, guys. Have a lovely weekend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.